the papal conclave is underway. And the first day they put the black smoke up. So they haven't got the decision yet. You never know, may take them a few days to drag it all out, get a bit extra media interest, as it were. But this I found really interesting. The gematria guy decoding, Cody had discovered this one. And I thought it was quite a good discovery indeed. The Eurotrip movie 2004. And we've been seeing this 24 and 42. And of course there's the talk about the gold to $42 with Trump around. And of course that's our Elvis here. And that hotel in Gaza had the 24. It was everywhere. In fact, I think it was built in 2004. But they head to the Vatican, and all this kerfuffle happens, and he appears on the balcony dressed like this, and the whole crowd cheers. And he's got this golden ratio style staff here. Now what's interesting about that is the main contestant for the Pope, Pietra Parolin, is pictured with the same sort of staff. Yes, here is the PP man, Pietra Parolin, with the same staff as that movie Eurotrip, with that Scott Melchizedek. The Melchizedek priesthood, can you believe it? But the big one too is, look at the birth date. The 17th of January. Well, what day do you think the guy playing that Pope in Eurotrip is? Yes. Scott David Melchowicz. And January 17. Same damn day. And it said this alchemical idea, the mechanical man, which we talked about ages ago. David, of course, House of David, and Scott the Darkness. Now, in the movie Eurotrip, he is also Scotty Thomas, the twins, and the dark. But yes, the Melchizedek priesthood indeed, folks, right here. Can you believe it? And this one is an interesting name too, isn't it? Jacob Pitts. And then, of course, there's Michelle Trachtenberg, which was a big, a H out in recent times. Yes, right around when the Pope was sick. And Feb 26. So we have the 2-8 idea, the 88. Is in so many things. Indeed, that 88. You just find it everywhere. And as we can see here, this one started in, 1988. And of course, there's a lot of Pete ideas going on here. And this has got the Pete and Pete here straight away. Now this one is October 11. Now I'll show you why that is interesting in the mix here. Including we have the Christ principle here. Yes, interesting enough, the other contender, who's a Peter, is born on the 11th October, the same as Michelle Trachtenberg. Pretty interesting stuff here, the connection between this Eurotrip movie, and as I said, he appears on the balcony as the new Pope, and a young Pope at that. So it's possible we even have somebody that we're not even looking at in the thing that they dream up. But some people are saying it's going to be Peter Parolini, because he is ill, and it'll be a short papacy. But this one certainly must be an outside chance. They're saying 7%. for this one. And for Paralini it was 22. There's pi itself, isn't it? And that Paralini, of course, has the pi in his name. That any Peter could be there for Pietra. Give them a pi in all their names. What I think is interesting here is the son of the Turk. Like a very Othello idea here. Coming from the south and going to the other side of the Mediterranean to be a leader. Yeah, I like this one. A papal. It's somebody who could be elected Pope. And an ethnic Fante. You know, I remember Christian doing the Fon people. But this one, the Fantes, that's an interesting thing. We might have to have a look at that in the video soon to come. Especially if Pete Turkson becomes the Pope. It would certainly be an interesting one. But there, you can't make that up, eh? Born on the same day as that Michelle. Now, this channel is one of the only ones I've ever seen talk about this number. I've had many videos on this number because it appears in so many things. It appears in the nukes, it appears in Korea, it appears in the Civil War of America. We know that it's the inner angle of the octagon, or ACE. And it just so happens the amount of electors. So it's a number very wrapped up with the 8 principle. As we can see from these things here, there's been quite a lot of 8 going on in the mix here. Yes, because Christ Opera Son. Incredible name that one is. June 22 at Brownsville. Old Brownsville Station coming to mind. Smoking in the boys' room. But look, September 28th. So you got your 2 8s there. Your blood honour BH, but 2 times 8 for HH. And here is an 8 year, as you can see, and 88. And where? Hannah, Hawaii, HH. So quite a little bit of 88 attached to old Christopher. And then we have Roberta Flack, of course. Yes, she's got the Patra. Like the Pope idea, the Peter. And the Lion, just like Trump and the McLeod. Black Mountain, North Carolina, but February 24, 2x4 8, 2 8s. And here we have our 88 again. Rubina Flake. It's a chocolate bar. It's an interesting lady, this one here. Indeed. And the Maxi Priest, which is the Pope. Strange enough. And of course dying right around again as the Pope was sick. And on a little interesting note with good old Roberta Flack, she was a friend of Lennon and Yoko. And both parties lived in the Dakota apartment building where we filmed old Rosemary's Baby. And she's done the Beatles covers, is a famous thing she has done, and they were talking about doing the second one. So there we go. Quite a little bit of an interesting character. And we've got the Maxwell name in the mix too, I might add. Well, certainly this Conclave will produce our new Pope, and it's going to be one of those two, I think. I think we're in for a Pope Peter, but there is another black guy called Robert Sarah. Probably worth looking at him. Yeah, seeing we have our Roberta Flack. How about a Robert Sarah? Sarah the Red Doll coming to mind here. So this is the outside possibility. And Sarah, of course, the moon goddess, Semiramis ideas here. The Robert for the red. Got his little red hat on. Yes. Traditional. He's against the gender thing, whereas Francis was very pro those ideas, wasn't he? So, we've got to look out for this one too. He's a papal, a leading candidate. Yeah, I saw a few people suggesting this was going to be the one. Look, he's from Ouroboros in French Guinea. I'll be watching this, and we'll come up with another video when we get the result. See if we can see a little bit more. I thought it was pretty interesting how a few people and things seem to relate to this quite well. Even this one, Roberta Flack and Robert Sarah. And the 88 principle is certainly around in a lot of it. Back to the future. Alright, thanks very much, and thanks again to all supporters of this channel. There was a very slight increase in the Patreon, so I'm really thankful for that. It nearly paid for my internet. About $90 I got. It's 110 or so this, 115 maybe this month for the internet services and the phone for the house, so that was really good. And I never used the phone really, so at least I had, you know, most of the money, so it only cost me $20 to do the videos, folks. Just shows you, you know, what these journalists and that, how much they're paid, and anyone that tried to do the opposition, you've actually got to pay money to do the opposition, see? So they're winning all the time, aren't they? And certainly the way they could tail the views on my videos. Alright, thanks very much.